What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You watching Dave Beyond TV, but we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today, we on a late night tip. I just had like a moment, right, when I was considering a lot of these energies going on right now, because it's intense. You know what I'm saying? It's an intense time. We got a lot of these energies shifting. You know what I'm saying? Going through a bit of that cusp energy with Cancer. Right, the moon right now is in Leo, so things is whenever things is in Leo, it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It can be explosive. It could be it's just a lot of energy in Leo. You know what I'm saying? Especially with what's actually going on in the sky. The fact that next to the moon at the moment, or the moon passing through, because we know that the moon moves so fast, passing through Mars and Venus and Lilith. You know what I'm saying? So we got a taste of that energy, for, I think, Mars and Venus being in Leo. There was already kind of an underlying tone now of people almost demanding attention, appreciation, but being that it was in Mars was kind of still taking a back seat. Our passions are still in a place where we knew that we have to continue to cultivate them, set the stage for them. Either you're in that stage or you're already expressing your passions. So, that energy was already going on, but then you have Venus there, which makes us a bit moody, or more, pay attention more to the pleasurable sides of what we get from expressing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So Venus and Leo being, what are we actually getting from this experience of us expressing ourselves? What do we actually get? It's an amplified, self-centered energy. Mars in Leo, it could be self-centered, but it's a passion behind it. So sometimes that passion can look like something that is actually being put forth into the world and almost deserving of attention or recognition, because it's something that's Mars energy is almost like it's groundbreaking. It's something that's, oh, this person's passionate. It looks more like creativity than Venus there. Venus looks like creativity, but in a much different way, more in a receptive way. So in one area, Mars in Leo is like the artist who is trying to, express themselves, break new grounds and things of that nature. Venus and Leo is more like the art curator, somebody who may not actually do the art, but because of who they are and how their taste is, their taste and how they put together shows of other artists, they somehow find themselves in a position of recognition. You know what I'm saying? So, you can understand the dynamic between the person who's actually doing the expression and the person who is just kind of being appreciated for the style of what's being put together. It's almost like the difference of respect an artist has, like, say Lil Wayne versus an artist like DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled being the DJ who curates an A&R. If you don't understand music terms, it's just a person who puts up, like, this is why on a DJ Khaled album, it'll be a bunch of different artists, but it's never DJ Khaled himself rapping. You'll be like, what? How are you an artist, or how are you dropping an album? When it's because he's more of an A&R. He creates the vibe of the tape, the beats selected, and I think he creates the beats, curates everything, chooses what artist is going to be on what song. So he's appreciated in a different aspect than Lil Wayne, who's actually getting in the booth, creating the music, putting it together, and so on and so forth, without getting into the deep technicalities of that. That's not the point. I'm just giving y'all an idea of these two differences of energies. So when you put them together, you get a very, again, the Venus side of things, it needs that recognition and appreciation. Now, Venus is going retrograde, so this is creating a situation where that wanting that love and appreciation, that recognition, that validation, whatever it is, it's starting to become the focal point of a lot of different individuals who aren't able to separate themselves from that desire. And when I say that too, I don't even want to even say it like the purpose is to separate yourself from that desire. It's that the retrograde in Venus is making us rethink love, appreciating value, and being that it's in Leo, it's us wanting that for ourselves. The thing about fire signs, right? all fire signs kind of carry that selfish energy. And it's not that it's selfish, it's more like separation. Fire separates itself from things. Water connects. So water is more oftentimes the energy that's going to get lost in another through that connection, whether it's Pisces and, you know, Venus exalted, or you could look at even Scorpio and being so fixated on a certain emotion and feeling that they, you know, they lose themselves or whatever their own feeling is, whether it's them at war with themselves or them being invested into a grudge or something like that, or obsessed, you know, to the point where, again, it transforms them or whatever they're participating with. You know, they become the transform, or they transform whatever's around them, right? And then you got Cancer, which is cardinal water, which is already just putting emotions on things, you know what I'm saying? Change your mood based upon how I'm moving, I'm the mood I'm in. So water, a lot of times, is connection, and that's where their struggle is. Fire is more separation from things. Fire is saying, this is my identity, Aries. This is how I see things, Leo. This is my philosophy. But even though it's like the energy of Sagittarius, even though it's adaptable and changeable to others' philosophy, is for the sake of developing its own moral system that can encompass everybody, you know, that can encompass, you know, pretty much like, you know, this division of a Sagittarius. But we know that the nature of Sagittarius is still needing freedom to do that, needing to be able to travel long distance within the mind without too many different restrictions. That in and of itself is still separation. So when you're looking at Venus in a sign like this, it's like Venus is in a position where it's separate from everything that it's connected to. So in a relationship sense, this makes an individual come off a bit narcissist like, and that's what the Venus retrograde is kind of stirring up in individuals, kind of like that part of the brain that's like, hey, I need love and appreciation, value. What am I getting out of this? What am I actually getting out of this experience that I'm participating in? Because I'm thinking I'm the star of the show. So everyone kind of starts to feel like that. And especially right now in the summertime. And see, this energy is going on during Cancer season, where emotions are high based upon, and not just emotions being high, but cardinal water is really, again, it's powerful energy. It's the moon, you know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody is feeling themselves in the summertime. You know, that's why like the summertime be like that. Like everybody is feeling themselves. So you have to take that in consideration. People are feeling themselves, and we have the planet of love, appreciate, and value, what's supposed to be on the end of giving, in a situation where it's more so bent on needing to receive, especially based upon what we've been going through. And see, the thing is, and kind of the essence of this video, what I'm getting at, this energy square in Taurus is creating a scenario where we aren't actually able to access that appreciation, that validation, that gratification, that recognition without the work. And we're learning how to deal with that. See, if you're on the end of planting the right seeds, right? And what I just mean is that you are on this journey and you're aware of your own self, you're self-aware, and you're aware of your subconscious, and you're working towards being aligned and riding the wave. You'll have a, you know, it's like we have to put ourselves in a space where we're able to commit to the work, like I've been saying, the process. But right now, especially with Venus in retrograde or going into retrograde, let me see when it's actually going. Y'all gotta cop this planet, right? You know what I'm saying? We coming out with the new season or the new editions for the next couple years, but this one still run till 2024. You feel me? But it's a lot of valuable information and a lot of space for you to get, you know, things written down for yourself. And it's on sale, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead and cop one if you don't got one. And if not, just stay tuned for the new ones, you know what I'm saying? But we in June. Let me see, let me just check, because we got all the dates for when things are moving. So let's see, Venus retrograde. Sorry, y'all. Okay, yeah, we still got a month to the retrograde in Venus, right? July 23rd. But at the same time, right now, Venus is in the shadow period. So this is that period of time where we can make mistakes based upon the energy coming up. Venus being starting to be introduced to that pullback. So we got a bit of a ways for before Venus retrograde actually hits. But even right now, you know what I'm saying, we're feeling the tension because the experiences we're going through now are going to be the very same ones that when the retrograde hits, we're going to start to think back towards like, damn, why did I do that? Or what was I, you know, again, whatever you are setting in the path and creating patterns with now, the issues that's arising in certain in your relationships and things of that nature. This is the period of time where you might just be completely unaware of things that the retrograde is going to have to bring back around for you to adjust with. So in the shadow period, it's really a time to slow down yourself and understand the energies and what's going on that level. But everybody's situation is different. So I ain't got, you know, again, what you're going through is going to be what you're going through. If you want to know specifically, I could look at your chart and things of that nature. We could break it all down for a transit reading, a full natal reading, or, you know, a basic reading. Just go ahead, email me at dave795ab@gmail.com, or really what you should do is head over to the website where you hit services, and I got all my readings listed out, so you can just pick one and go ahead and book. And you know, the turnaround is pretty quick. Like I said, right now I'm open for readings, but for the, you know, that's getting in depth to your chart and, you know, really getting into what's going on. But for the most part, just what I have as a message for everybody is really right now we have to understand that dynamic. So I'll put this in a couple different contexts. You know what I'm saying? On one end, let's just start with the easiest one for me, at least. You know, say you're doing something, you're creating, you're in the process. This has something to do with maybe your business. And even if it's not like your business or you're going to consider yourself an entrepreneur, this is just you, whatever it is that you're working on, you know what I'm saying, day by day, in and out, whatever goal it is that you're working towards. So it becomes your business. Your business is really anything that's going on in your life. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? Even if it ain't a business like an entrepreneur, like, oh, I got this, I sell this or whatever. You ain't got to, you know, even if you're an artist, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what, you know, speaking to as well. You know, if you're an artist and you're working on projects and things of that nature, you're dealing with the ups and downs of creating your brand and getting, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, right? So right now, you have to be willing to commit to that process, putting in the work, Taurus, without actually seeing any of the recognition or the praise. And this is kind of like God looking and saying, well, what would you do if you weren't to receive that praise? You know, it's like we are learning the aspects of what it actually takes to set the stage, you know, not just the flair of it. Because when we think of setting the stage, the first thing we think is lights, camera, action. You know what I'm saying? First thing we, you know, when you go to a concert, you're not thinking about what it actually took to make that effect do that. What it actually took to get each dancer to be in sync. What it actually took to set up this whole microphone system for everything to work the way it was intended. What was actually put into the practical aspects of the lights, how much it actually costs. You're not thinking about that. You're just there for the show. So a lot of times, say you are aspiring to be on that stage, you've seen somebody else on. You just looking at the stage like, oh, well, I just need this, that, and the third. But then you start to understand as you're putting this together, oh, it actually takes a lot more in reality to put this together. And so we all are experiencing that with whatever it is that you're trying to set the stage for. You know what I'm saying? And again, this don't gotta just be business. This could be your relationship. You're realizing the day in and day out of what it actually takes to maintain this relationship. You might not be getting that recognition, that love, that praise that you think you deserve in that relationship, but you still present in it or needed to be present in it. And both your partner and you are both feeling that. But the thing is that like the thing also powerful thing just about relationships in general, like the true strength of a relationship is in its ability to go through these different transitions. You know what I'm saying? So as you go through different things with your partner, it's always a testament whether or not y'all are riding that, you know, again, it's a relationship. So we riding the wave, but y'all chose to do it together. So that's the real testament. So you got to be able to go through these different moments and adjust with each other, grow with each other. In the moment that y'all can't be on the same page for a certain amount of time, a certain amount of transits, that the water is uneasy, this is when people separate, or somebody jumps ship, or something happens to the ship itself where it can't be reconciled, can't be repaired. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about all this with all that submarine shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And we know there's something fishy. Something fishy going on with that shit. We probably talk about it. I'll probably make a video on it or something like that. I don't know. But we know everything we see that gets amplified as a story and shit like that, it's a narrative. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is something going on. It's a ritual. Cancer season, we know that they get real spicy in Cancer season. July, they setting things up. So right now, you know, they just trying to get people's attention right now, and everything is a distraction. This is going on while certain things is going on in the White House too. You know, so I seen somebody said Joe is getting impeached or something like that. We know, hey, block out the noise. You know, your spirit comes first, and then we understand what's going on in the world so that we can use this to our advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's don't do it the other way around. Getting lost in the world, now you caring about all this other shit that don't matter, and you are left as a spirit empty, hollow. You know what I'm saying? Basically following news stories and shit like that, affected emotionally. No, get your mind right first, get your spirit right, so that you can create your mind in a sufficient way, and then start to participate in the world, and then start, you know, seeing this so that you can see it with the proper lens. And you ain't got to be swayed this way, swayed that way. You could look at it and be like, oh, this is what's going on. Let me not get caught up in the story. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, you know, it's all about reactions and stuff like that. And, you know, people are making more jokes than feeling probably what they wanted people to feel. But again, they sit back and watch. So they just kind of collect the energy. And again, this is part of the ritual, and whoever was involved in that probably still alive somewhere. But we ain't gonna talk too much about that. That's some, you know what I'm saying, that's some other shit, you know. And I ain't talking conspiracy. This ain't no conspiracy channel. This is just looking at life as what it is type shit, because all this should be, again, utilized against people. Right now, you need to be focused on yourself and what you're building with your people, you know what I'm saying, with the people that matter to you. And that's key right now too, being in Cancer season, the people that matter to you. Don't be caring about all this other shit. And I'm not saying don't have compassion for other people. I'm saying, you know, again, but that's a different conversation. Let's get back on what I was talking about right now with the Leo energy squaring that Taurus energy. So right now we having to go through the process without actually getting the praise, and going back to what I was saying in terms of your relationships now, right? Because that's the mindset you got to realize when you're working, you know, on your business or whatever business you got going on in your life. You got to learn how to not need all of that praise in order to get the fire going, in order to stay consistent on the actual process or task at hand. You got to be willing to actually put in the work and deserve it. Like Jupiter and Taurus isn't all peaches and cream. Jupiter, people think Jupiter is, oh, it's in this sign, everybody's going to be a billionaire. Jupiter is about the experience. One thing a Jupiterian can tell you that a lot of other individuals can't tell you is how much actually goes into the experience. It's like you never really know what's going to work out for you. It's just you have to. It's like people be like, oh, you know, Jupiterians, it's abundance, it's optimism, it's all. It takes a strong spirit to even be able to have the vision to be optimistic, especially when they in the same world you in. So you might think that Jupiterian sign, that Pisces, that Sagittarius is just happy all the time, but they had to fight to create a vision or imagination strong and potent enough to keep their spirits high. And the truth be told, behind closed doors, you don't know the weight that comes, that puts them in a position to have to do that. Because it's almost like if they didn't do that, they would sink to the bottom of the ocean, just like that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They themselves would implode. They themselves wouldn't be able to get up and do something, you know. But to actually go through the experience and not know for sure, but have to have faith, you know how hard it is Ask a Jupiter and Capricorn how hard it is to have faith about something, or an earth sign in general, that you don't actually, you can't plan, you can't. This is the energy we have in Taurus. We have to be in the experience. So whatever you're working on practically to create the stability and security, you really don't know if it's going to work, especially with Uranus been in there for the longest. You done tried and changed and changed. You think, God damn, how much more can I change? You know what I'm saying? For this shit to work. But that's the beauty of it, disguised in the struggle. It's not really a struggle, you know what I'm saying? That's a certain term you can use, but I don't like to be like, oh, this is just part of the struggle. I look at this more like part of the process, the development of something. When you plant a seed, it takes a lot for that seed to bust through the layer of dirt, each layer of dirt from the actual seed where it's planted to get to the actual surface. And then on top of that, it has to keep growing, and it takes time. So right now, it's all about time. You know what I'm saying? We have to put the time in. We have to put the effort in. We have to be able to maintain that vision and keep the steam going, be our own fire. And that takes us into back that Leo energy. We're fighting through Lilith right now. And Mars is making its way through it. You know what I'm saying? Mars about to hit Virgo, where we can clean up a lot of these things. Because again, the stage that we're setting with our passions isn't actually the end all be all. This is really just clearing the air for when the sun gets there. And now Venus is dealing with, again, pride issues. That's really what it is. Pride issues, praise issues. You have to really learn how to love yourself in a way that isn't so demanding of other individuals to give you that energy that you're seeking. You have to truly be the volt of fire, the volt yourself of love, and again, be able to ignite and keep your own flame lit long enough through this process for you to actually get to a place where you could deserve it. This is a situation where you're not just, again, all these energies, you're not just going to be experienced, like Jupiter itself, you're experiencing the actual groundwork. You know what I'm saying? You got to consider Jupiter in Aries was all about that aspect of having to, again, be the main character in your own story. Set your journey and have the determination, the intention with your path. You were experiencing the fight. Now you're experiencing the seed being planted. You're getting your hands dirty. Digging. You know how hard it is to, you know what I'm saying? Even though digging to plant a seed isn't as strenuous as digging a grave, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, you still have to put in that groundwork. Think about a farmer or whatever, when you're planting crops and things of that nature. You in there, you putting in work. These are real hours, real things you have to do with your hands. So right now, Jupiter is making our experience that. And see, the thing about Jupiter, it can only grant you abundance if you're putting yourself in that situation, in that experience, and truly opening your eyes enough wide, opening your mind enough to receive meanings and reasonings that are actually wise. Because you could be experiencing something, but because you're not looking at it with the right lens, perspective, or with an open enough mind, the meanings and reasonings you're derived still aren't enough or sufficient to be able to be utilized in that way. Because we know that wisdom is the application of knowledge, how you use the knowledge you receive. So experience in general is going to give you knowledge, but wisdom is quality knowledge, knowing how to use that knowledge. That makes that knowledge quality, high quality. And then also it being in Taurus, that's the thing. What we're crafting for is either you're going to take the time to craft something of high value, or you're going to take the shortcut and think you're gaining, but that'll soon run out. You know what I'm saying? All quick material gains, you'll receive the end of Jupiter that is kind of like the negative end of Jupiter, which is kind of like being a fool almost, where you stumble and fall, you keep stumbling and fall, you keep losing it. You got something, but you got it based on a technicality or because you was cutting corners. So you thought you was slick. But the thing is, it's not going to be as real. The quality is not going to be of value. So when you bring it around certain areas, it's not going to be respected. It's not even going to be able to give you nothing on the back end, because the wisdom that you've accumulated, the knowledge that you got from whatever it is that you was investing your time into, it's gonna come off flaccid. It's gonna come off like fool's gold. Like, oh yeah, like some monopoly money. It's like, no, this person don't really know what they talking about, or the experiences that you're going through. It's like people gonna be able to kind of break it down, and it's not really about trying to figure out what other people gonna perceive about what you going on. It's understanding this shit for you. You not gonna be able to use it. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what other people pick up on. It's gonna be you not being able to use it. You're not gonna have enough knowledge around whatever it is that you was trying to utilize for stability, security, and safety in order to be able to be wise enough to catch when the right times to jump in or whatever, to be in the right place, right time to receive that quote unquote luck that everybody assumes Jupiter comes with. You know what I'm saying? That luck, again, you have to be in the experience. You have to actually have that faith in your heart. And it takes work to have faith. And that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's Jupiter. But Jupiter's in Taurus. So it's like the results of things, we're going to feel that a lot more than before, because you're going to be experiencing results through Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? So right now, it's like, if you're not getting that, and it's almost like the way the energy set up, we're purposely not getting that praise right now. I'm not going to say it's because we don't deserve it, because you might very well deserve it. But we're being taught, again, the learning lesson is to be able to actually still commit to that process, to continue to build. We're not done building yet. Throughout this whole square, we have to put in the work. And as Venus goes retrograde, we're going to start to see why. And there's going to be an opportunity there, right, with every retrograde to rethink how we're correlating our love, how we're going about being appreciated, how we're giving love, and how we're giving appreciation. We're going to have to rethink these things and have these things come back to a drawing board point where we can start to reconstruct these types of things, so that when it goes back direct, we have a whole new way of expressing love that actually fits, whether it's our nature or the nature of what needs to be given from us. Right now, we're scared to give because we feel like we're not getting. And again, if you apply this to business, this is you not putting out your best work, or you still going back and forth on whether you should be doing what you're doing or not, because you're not sure, you're not seeing the result of it. So again, the question is, are you going to slow up on your process? Are you going to say, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to get the shortcut praise, aka put out some bullshit, or invest your time into something that gives you that instant gratification, whether it's indulging in pleasure, again, pleasures that give you the gratification that you need. Again, this is dealing with entertainment. So this is drowning yourself in entertainment to numb yourself from your inability to get up off your ass and actually create something for other people to consume. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times people get tricked like that. And we got to be very careful, because that's one of the schemes, you know what I'm saying, in the social media age. It'll have you consuming so much, and 9 times out of 10, you're consuming because you are stressed. You're consuming because you are unsure, because you are insecure about what it is you do. And you rather watch a million videos of other people just to get a little bit more time away from you dealing with the pressure, anxiety of making yourself something to be seen. Now everybody want to be seen. People do different things for different reasons. So I'm not saying just because you on TikTok or you on Instagram scrolling all day, or Twitter, that you not doing something or that something's wrong, because that's not the case. But my whole thing is this: consider what it is you even consuming in the first place. And if you are out here trying to do something, make sure you actually putting yourself out there. It's just right now in today's culture, that's the thing. To sit down in front of a screen and give all your attention to that. And a lot of times people who aren't aware walk away from that experience feeling like shit, because in the back of their mind, they feel the pressure, or they look at what everybody else is doing and they feel like, damn, I want that love, I want that praise. I see this random YouTuber and stuff like that getting all these deals and going to these places, having these experiences. I want that. And it creates this weird relationship you have with yourself, where you start to be hard on yourself because of everything you see everybody else doing. And right now, the reason I'm talking about this, because all that Leo energy is playing into that, where you're a lot more cognizant of other people getting attention than you was before Venus got into Leo. When Mars was in Leo, it was more so about you and your passions. At the very least, you just wanted recognitions for the things you was doing. But now Venus in the play, it's like, it's a little more personal. It's a little more into, again, wants, desires. You desire right now to receive that love. You feel like you need it. You feel like you can't go without that love. If I ain't got that love and recognition, I don't know if I can get this job done. But the question, that's what God looking at right now, though. Like, really? That's what's going to stop you? I got this mission for you. I got these duties and obligations for you to carry out, but you concerned about another human liking something that you doing or giving you a hand clap. What happened to you doing this because you love to do it? What happened to you doing this because of your pure childlike wonder? You know, and that's what Leo is getting at. So Venus in retrograde is recorrelating how we even consider love, how we even love ourselves. And stop putting the pressure on everybody else to give you that praise in order for you to do something that you should already be doing, whether it's off the love or whatever reason you've come up with, because you got to come up with the reason. You got to come up with the meaning. And right now, even with Jupiter in Taurus, right now we're having to find real meanings to do what it is that we're doing. So again, you can reduce it to you just needing the money or you just trying to get this and material stuff. But a deeper aspect would be you actually getting to the root, planting seeds, actually saying, no, my values are the meaning and reasoning behind what I'm doing. So now what you do in the world has that much more of an impact. Even if people don't see it, it's your aura. When you walk into a room, when you put yourself on that camera and see, this is the type of energy that you cannot, it's like this type of shit is so potent because this is true. This is like that true substance. I can't even put it into words really, but the substance that we can actually get from reminding ourselves that commit to the process, work, stay consistent without needing the praise, validation, being seen, even caring about all that shit. The substance you derive from this makes you a cold person, makes you a cold motherfucker. That's what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Makes you cold. Because your level of integrity, your level of hustle, your level of all these different things is really like external things people use to you know what I'm saying? But you'll have something more pure than that. You'll have the substance that it derives from. You know what I'm saying? The actual substance it derives from, which again, you could be like, oh yeah, I hustle, or yeah, I got the, you could say all these different adjectives that come after, but like I was saying, you'll have this substance to make it look like however you want to look. So that's way more powerful than just be like, I don't know, I'm going a little too deep, you know what I'm saying? But that's real shit to me. It's like, you could be like, oh yeah, I hustle every day, or you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you do, but when you go through the rejection or the actual trials and tribulations of something, and you are the ones who pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. You told yourself, I'm gonna do this anyway. You know what I'm saying? You told yourself, I'm gonna get through this. You told yourself, nah, I got, you know what I'm saying? You went through that rejection. You went through that pain and that whatever you want to call it. That raw energy is really whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to limit it to, oh, it's just you got the hustle or you got this. It's like that raw energy, whatever that needs to be for you is really most important, because after you go through that, it's up to you to decide how you transmute it. You could take that pain and wear it on your shoulder as a chip, you know what I'm saying? So now you make everybody try to feel that thing, you know what I'm saying? Or that be the thing that give you grace, and you walk into a room, you be ready to give another person an opportunity, and it ain't gotta be like that, but it's just like you have a certain aura or essence about you that you could take that raw energy and then to keep you in whatever position you want to. It's like a ticket, it's like a passport, you know what I'm saying, that you can go wherever you want to go with it. And that's really the essence of what I'm saying. Now the video might cut off because of my storage. So, but that's what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So that energy is very important. And then we're back into retrograde season on the low. So like I said, Venus is in that kind of shadow period space, but we also got Saturn in retrograde too. So right now, this month in general, again, that Taurus energy is hitting Saturn. You know what I'm saying? And we got a little bit of Mercury still traveling through Gemini, finna go into Cancer in about a week or a couple of days, actually. I think it's like the 27th. So like 5 days or something like that. But, even with that energy, you know what I'm saying? It's like understanding that, like that energy interacting with Saturn and Pisces and being Saturn being retrograde, learning how to think about our reality and stuff like that. So we got to kind of understand that the work that we got to put in now is just necessary. You know what I'm saying? And you might not see why or how, but that's the thing. It's like we have to think through this, and that's the frustration, kind of thinking through it and staying consistent enough with it, but understanding that right now is not the time to be looking for the praise. Now is not the time to be so pent up on the appreciation aspect. We need to be able to put our heads down and stay consistent with the work. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the fun thing to do, especially not during the summertime. But think about it. It's only the cardinal water aspect. So this is creating a comfort zone with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We this committing to the work, and this energy sextiles Taurus. You know what I'm saying? The sun in Cancer sextiles that Taurus energy. It's like when you put your head down and commit to the work, see, it's really opening up an opportunity to create a certain safety and comfort around what it is that you do. That is actually going to be the right energy to leverage a lot of the pressure that might be coming up just to handle certain responsibilities. And even with Pluto, you know what I'm saying, the transformation is needed for you to even go about your associations and handle your responsibilities in that right way. Taking power control over that looks like you, again, that Pluto energy is trying it with Taurus. Like Taurus been lit up, you know what I'm saying? But it's some powerful energies going on right now that could really help you in the long run, if you can bypass the need for the instant gratification, if you can bypass the need for somebody else to light the fire for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're going into the summertime. So springtime, we missing the water element. I think the summertime, we're missing the earth element. Yeah. No, because we got Virgo. So we're missing the air element. That's what it is. So it's like, because I made a video about this. Each season you missing an element, you know what I'm saying? Or I think I said it in passing in the old video. So in the spring season, you're missing the water aspect. It's always the sign right, the energy of the element of the sign right before the 3. You know what I'm saying? Each 3 is a season. So really it's 4, but that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too confusing. But Aries, Taurus, and Gemini make up the spring, but it's missing Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So it's missing that water. Cancer, Leo, and Virgo make up the summer, but it's missing air, which is Gemini leading into that. Fall time is missing, it's Libra. It's missing, I just said it, Earth. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's be the element that needs the most, that we're carrying over from the previous, and that we're trying to deal without, to get to a place where, it's like we have to balance it out in a way. So like during the springtime, you lack the water, the connection, you know what I'm saying? We have to work to get that, or we have to use previously what we had to set the tone for that. We use Pisces to transform into the spring. So now we in the spring and we starting new stuff, but we need to use fire, earth, and air to create some kind of, spark that's a foundation that can be spoken about. Now that speaking transfers into the summertime. So we have to use that air that we had in order to get more comfortable, right? Then express it and then make sense out of it. And then we make up for the lack of it, because it's like at the end of that, we supposed to be using that previous energy, the conversations that we had, to be able to carry us over. And then after that, we get right back into air. You know what I'm saying? For the fall time, we have air, then we have So we coming off of it having some practical sense. So with that practical sense, now we initiate a new conversation. Then we get deep on that on an emotional level. Then we get fire. We ascend through that. So we're carrying that earth energy. We made sense out of it. But now we at the tail end, and then we use the earth energy again. Now we initiated some new earth, and then we take it into fixed air, and then we take it into mutable water. But we coming off of having mutable fire. So throughout that time, you know what I'm saying, the winter time, we have to use that warmth from the inspiration we had when everything was falling down and we didn't have no steady foundation. Now we had a strong enough imagination to create a new foundation or a proposition for a new foundation, which is going to be the springboard that, again, we carry through death, right? Start to get a community around it, start to feel about it, and then we've taken that water, that feeling, and now it's on our minds to inspire a new direction. And it's like, that's how like the seasons flow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like each, you know, again, everything is a progression. So right now, that's what's happening. You know, we coming off of all that communication. So hopefully you would spend in Gemini season communicate. And there was a lot of opportunities there for your passions to be spread, to be recognized, to be spoken about, for people to understand it. Now it's like you're gonna have to go off of, you know, now it's a different level of understanding. Now it's the practicalization of it. People need to see that it's real now. You've been talking about it all spring. Now it has to actually be real. You know what I'm saying? So coming off of that conversation, the intellect, you're supposed to have the right intellect to start putting the pieces together. You're supposed to know how to construct your mind so that your feelings can flow freely. You know what I'm saying? So that you can create a new feeling and get comfortable. You know, you got to get comfortable with the things on our mind. And that's really what Cancer season going through right now. We have to get comfortable with these things, you know what I'm saying? Or the new moon, that was it, birth of a new mind, but also another aspect of it was getting comfortable with our new mind. You know what I'm saying? And then now, Moon and Leo, this is even more confident with our new mind. But now also our new mind, there's a new sensitivity that's coming from it too. So we're dealing with that sensitivity and how to push through it. And then we have the moon going into Virgo. So with the moon going into Virgo, it's like, again, the practical aspects. We're worried a little bit about our comfort zone. But that worry can push you into actually starting to put in the work to make this thing work, you know, make this thing secure. That moon in Virgo is going to hit, it's going to be a grand earth trine. Moon in Virgo, trine in Pluto and Capricorn, and Jupiter, North Node, and what's the last? Uranus in Taurus. You know what I'm saying? So this gift for us to get more comfortable with our individuality, our spiritual path, and again, our experiences, for the sake of what it could mean for our transformation, getting more comfortable, taking power control over these different things, because we know it's necessary right now. And see, also, this energy, also keep in mind that the North Node is making it this cuspy at this moment. It's like 2 degrees. So it's getting, you get mixed with that Aries energy with our spiritual path. So our spiritual path about to shift, you know what I'm saying, into a more Aryan aspect where we're going to be going to war with it. Or again, passionate about your spiritual path. You're going to have to start fighting with it, fighting for it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to start being intentional with our spiritual path. Our spiritual path look like getting material. It's going to start looking like real spiritual. It's going to start looking like you, yourself, and I. So it might be a bit of a time. And again, that's another thing too, where everybody going through it on an individual level. And I think we're feeling a little bit more of that individuality the closer that the spiritual path goes into Aries, where your spiritual path going to look like more like you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even though we still need relationships and we still need to be able to flow with things, but that's where the North Node going to be. That's where the uncomfortable moment's going to be, what you're willing or able to do on your own. You know what I'm saying? But it also stems to lighten your own fire. You know what I'm saying? So right now, but the main point of this video was just, you know, we have to be able to commit to the process without all of the glitz and glamour that come from that Leo energy. That Leo energy will get us tied up. And we need to be just cognizant of Venus going retrograde soon in Leo and what it even means to begin with. Because right now, you might not recognize the small ways in which you're demanding attention, but doing it maybe in a passive aggressive way. Or you're blaming different things, you're wasting time kind of going or being negative towards others when we really need to be digging within ourselves and, again, putting that on hold so that we can dig and actually get into this process and understand that we have a responsibility right now to ourselves to get better at whatever it is that we do. Even if it's not you doing something necessarily physical, it's just, again, you being a better partner. You being in a relationship, just being a better partner. You know what I'm saying? You worried about what you're going to get out of it. Are you being the best partner you could be? Of course, there's situations where you need to have discernment, and it is times where you're getting the short end of the stick, and it's time for you to stand up for yourself and separate if you need to. That's the beauty of this fire energy. Separate if you need to, but don't separate off of false pretenses because you want something, because you desire how you desire certain things that you're seeing and not seeing and stuff like that. You have to really get deeper with this energy and understand, like, first of all, you ain't shit. So start there. If you can find ways you are the shit, let that not be an ego, but instead drive you to understand what you manifested for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, again, everything gonna come off egotistical if you only looking at what you get out of things and, oh, I do so much and you know what I'm saying? It's like, we have to understand that you know what I'm saying, right now, what you're receiving, you're not receiving the glitz and glamour that come from a Leo. You know what I'm saying? So everything right now might seem a little sour. You in your relationship might seem a little sour. You know what I'm saying? Based upon what you might be expecting to see. You know what I'm saying? But not actually what is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of nuanced energies like that, you know, going on, where it's like, you can get the wrong idea quick and make a mistake based on these things just because you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You know what I'm saying? So take a moment to really ask yourself what you're doing and commit to your process. You know what I'm saying? Understand your ways of operating and how these things can be improved upon, and keep track of what you're desiring at the moment. Because that's the thing. A lot of that frustration could just come from you desiring something and not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? But but we still need to be vocal while Mercury is in Gemini. We still need to speak up for things. We still need to express ourselves. It's just pay attention to how you express yourself. Because again, if it's coming off distasteful, you getting that urge to go off and have these energies on your heart and things of that nature, be very aware of where it's coming from. If it's coming from a genuine place where you really at and you pouring your heart out, cool. If it's coming from a place that you really low-key trying to say something else, you just want more attention, either just say that or start to deal with that, the fact that, damn, I just need more attention, and break down what you're doing to not get you that attention and what you could be doing that could get, you know what I'm saying? But don't go too far, because don't go too far as to just be doing things based off getting attention. But when you start to understand why you need so much attention in that particular area, you start to understand certain things about yourself, and you can stop putting that pressure on your partner and creating ways for you to feel confident and secure in that area on your own, so that when you do engage with your partner, it's less of a, you know what I'm saying, where you're making somebody else feel responsible for your well-being, when even if you're in a relationship, right, you still have a responsibility on your own to be able to correlate your energies in a way that, again, because being in a relationship, part of it is to have somebody to bounce energies off of. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about staying separate, dealing with what you're dealing with, but it's also a matter of knowing yourself enough to not put your partner in a situation where they have to, I don't know, or like, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's just with these energies specifically, it's Leo. So it can start to look like you demanding somebody's attention, you demanding somebody's focus to be on you, when the overarching thing might not be about you. It's about y'all and what y'all going towards as goals. And when you know what I'm saying, you can get caught up in the, well, I, me, when it needs to be, you know what I'm saying, it could be a more mature conversation going on that's predicated towards what y'all doing, right? But we all have those moments, and we need to speak up on those things. You know what I'm saying? We need a bit of me, a bit of you, a bit of each other. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we still need to get to a place where it's about we, and we can direct this energy where we want it to go, not let this energy, you know what I'm saying, sweep us up to where now we're fighting each other, and now we're fighting the battle backwards. We're fighting each other, trying to get little bits and pieces, and then trying to fight the world, where it should be us against the world. So, you know what I'm saying? But we need to go through these moments. That's why it's going retrograde, to remix a lot of these different ways we're going about these things. And I feel as though if you're able to withstand these energies, your relationships are going to be that much more secure and strong. Like I was saying, what you go through as a relationship, the testimony itself is what bonds y'all, you know, what y'all been through. But a lot of times y'all go through certain stuff. And again, when people let you down during certain times, this creates resentment, you know what I'm saying? And so it's harder to get to the next one if the last one kind of really tore y'all up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you got to be willing to go through the ebb and flow, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. It's like you can't predict what's going to actually happen. You know, even with a partner, you don't know what's going down until it go down. It's just a matter of y'all commitment to each other and y'all choice to stay with each other and rock. But again, you know what I'm saying? So this is a season where things are getting shaken up, and understand that this Venus energy is squaring Uranus, that individuality, spiritual paths, Jupiter, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot to learn, you know what I'm saying? A lot to learn. And a lot of it's going to be between, again, it's a lot of, Uranus it's about individuality. Leo is about, again, it got self-centered energy, fixated fire, how you see things. Fixated how you make practicality and sense out of things. The thing about fixed practicality is not everybody agrees on that way of things to be practically done. So these are the things you're gonna have to be learning as Venus goes through its little back and forth. You know, and even right now, shadow period, bringing these things that's finna be potential problems up. So again, what's swept under the rug, just know, remind yourself it's under the rug so that you can come back with a vacuum cleaner and take care of it and really get to some kind of resolve. You feel me? But anyway, it's been an hour. Much love. Man, y'all know, I do this for y'all, for myself. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. Just the comments, the love y'all show, I really appreciate it. But yeah, with these energies, just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Keep on going. But just understand, and I say this to say, last thing I'm gonna say is just, you know, I say all this to keep you motivated too, because keep in your mind, like if you're not seeing it yet, you might not supposed to see it yet. And God really just trying to see what you finna do, whether you keep going or whether you, again, that be the reason you stop. And if that's the reason you stop, you get what you deserve. But if you keep going, you get what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? If you keep doing what you're doing, stay focused on the bigger picture, you already know. Much love. Catch you on the next one. Make sure y'all check out the website, DaveBeyond.com. Check out the album, Gotta Start Somewhere. Y'all running it the fuck up on YouTube, and I appreciate y'all. And it's on streaming services, so go ahead and check that out. 717 conference. Please go ahead and get your tickets. You know what I'm saying? Coming up July 15th, it's going down. ATL, Peace Dealer coming down. You know what I'm saying? From wherever he's from. I don't put his business out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got Soul Group coming down from different places, performers, you know, all kinds of individuals trying to come together, connect spiritually, astrology conversations, getting real connected, you know what I'm saying? Real building, like y'all don't realize. Like, I hope y'all see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just putting these videos out for no reason. We not just doing this conference for no reason. This shit ain't for no reason. We building out here, you know what I'm saying? All the way down to building schools in the future. You know what I'm saying? When I say the future, I'm talking about foreseeable future, like the next couple years, you know, building community. community centers, warehouses, and things of that nature to be able to produce things and be more genuine, get more connected, communities, real estate, building. I can go on and on. Much love. Get your tickets. Much love. Catch you on the next one. Peace.